Hello, welcome back to another video, people. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're smashing the like button and subscribing if you're new. We're trying to reach 1K before the end of the season, people. And this time, in the draft selection, we are doing an all-time English draft. Alfie, bro. Thoughts going into this one, bro? This one should be interesting.
Well, it seems rather fitting considering, obviously, as we're recording this, England have just beaten Albania 2-0. But yeah, we've got a lot of select players to select from, a lot of players who play for England, and hopefully we can put together a fairly decent team.
Of course, of course. Obviously, people, we're going back to just normal. So 2 players per team. And obviously, in our lifetime of watching football as well. So, let's get started. Rock, paper, scissors once again to see who goes first and who picks the formation. Rock, paper, scissors, shoots. Okay, you win. So I've got to pick the formation. And as it makes sense, this is England. This is England. This is like egg, bacon, and beans and all that. Let's go 4-4-2, bruv. Let's go 4-4-2. Full English. So you get the first pick of the all-time England. I know who you're gonna pick. That's the thing. If I know you, I know who you want to pick first. If you're not going to pick him,
See, the thing is, there's two players that I want to pick, but I know for a fact that if you know one of them,
mm,
I know you're going to go for him if I don't take the opportunity.
right?
But I'm going to go, but to start off the draft, I'm going to go with Steven Gerrard in the midfield.
Yep. I knew you're picking him. I knew you were picking him. It's your favorite England player, right?
Yeah, part of the reason why I fell in love with football. Growing up watching Steven Gerrard, the goals he'd score, the passing. I tried
Mm-hmm.
emulating the way that he played on the pitch as well.
Yeah, like fair enough. Like he's one of my favorite midfielders in the Prem. Like it's him, Yaya, a certain other English player, and Fabregas that are like my favorite from the Premier when it comes to
Oh
midfielders and
yeah,
the Prem.
oh yeah, you don't say his name, do you? Yeah.
No, no, not him, not him, not him. It's a player that could come up that I actually like, not the one I don't like. Um, but I can't let this guy not get picked because this is my favorite English player. This is my favorite English player. This is who I think is the best English player that I've seen. Um, and I would be pissed off if I missed out on him. Scored against West Ham a lot. Up front for Man United, Wayne Rooney.
Fair, fair.
Like just
I
that that
mean,
that is a wonder kid that lived up to his expectation.
I mean, what a player Rooney was for England. I do feel
Mm-hmm.
like, in my opinion, that he did slightly fall off towards his later days in an England shirt, and it did seem as if
Yeah.
Roy Hodgson was trying to shoehorn him into the side. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't deny how good he was for England.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Oh, this is gonna be difficult. 2 players per draft as well. I would like 2 teams, like two
Two
players
players
per
per
team.
team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go with a striker. I'm not gonna go with a fairly obvious one, but
Yeah.
I do feel like did have an impact on England's attack, especially during the time that he played.
Mm.
Liverpool fans used to sing about him. He's big, he's red, his feet stick out the bed. It is, of course, Mr. Robot himself, Peter Crouch.
Okay. I did not expect him to get picked second. Not gonna lie. He's a great player though. Great player for his time. I didn't expect to pick, and that's also not the former Liverpool player I was expecting you to pick in striker.
Oh
I
no,
thought you were going to say someone
I'm not
else.
picking him. I'm not picking him.
I thought you were going to pick a
I,
certain.
I could already say I am not picking him.
Okay.
Overrated in my opinion.
Oh, not him. Not him. I wasn't thinking him. No, not him. Not him. I was thinking someone else. I know who you're thinking of. It wasn't. I wasn't thinking him. But I need to go with this player first. I need to go with this player second because again, I can't let this player get picked. Also, because he was the best player to play in his position I always pick this guy in dross. I always pick this guy in dross. Ashley Cole. I have to pick him because other the left backs for England, yeah, long day. I don't know whether I'm gonna pick him as Arsenal or Chelsea yet, but I'll figure that out later.
I mean,
Either way, I'm getting a world class left back. So
England's best left back.
yeah, that's why I'm picking him.
Nothing else needs to be said.
Nope. Fumbled Cheryl Cole.
Shot a kid with a BB gun.
Yeah, didn't fight for her love.
I'm gonna go with the left back as well. Obviously, we spoke about him the other day.
Yep.
On the other draft that we did, the
Yeah.
Barkleyman draft. If you haven't watched that yet, make sure you do.
Mhm.
We both agreed in a sense that this guy was England's best left back after Ashley Cole.
Mhm.
It is, of course, Leighton Baines.
I'm surprised again though. I'm surprised you picked him third because you could have picked him later. Because I picked the left back. So you could have picked like another major player before I got to him. But Leighton Baines, man, what a player! What a player! This guy should have
Criminally
got more
underrated.
England caps. He should have got more England caps. Let's be real. Like you don't even get. I know, like left back. Like we live in an era now where like it's very fullback orientated in terms of like it's a lot more focus on them now with whether they overlap or whether they invert. But Leighton Baines was a fullback that I would low-key pay to watch instead of some of the fullbacks I come across nowadays because he could defend and attack, and it was an era when you had to defend as well. You had to. Like you couldn't cover, like you couldn't cover it because of a system. He was a winger's dream. He was a winger's dream because it would take all the pressure off him, and then Leighton Baines would sort it with his deliveries and his defending. Like he was a special player. Special player. He's one of them players because he was like a player that I liked watching. I want him to become a good coach. Like he's one of them players. I want him to become a good coach. So he's in the staff with Moyes right now. So we'll see what his career turns out like. I've got 2 picks in my head. I've got a few picks that I want to pick. I think the position I'm going to struggle with is right back. So I'm going to come back to that later. I'm just going to pick whoever's last ditch sort of thing. I'll come back to that. Or should I? I could go striker. Wingers are interesting. I don't really want to pick this guy. This is difficult. Where do I go from here? Where the fuck do I go from here? Well, it's difficult, you know. It's difficult. There's so many options. There's actually so many options. But I'm going to go with the joy is. He's probably my favourite player for a club that I dislike. Because I don't think he gets the credit he deserves at striker. And I call him the 2-touch magician. That's what I nickname him because he only needs 2 touches. Does it everywhere he's played for. Jermaine Defoe. I love Jermaine Defoe so much. I know I'm meant to hate him, but I can't hate Jermaine Defoe.
What a
He's
player!
such a good player.
Like he's part of an elite list of players who have scored 5 goals in one Premier League game.
Yeah. Like that against Wigan, wasn't it?
Yeah, in that 9-1. Peter Crouch apparently got pissed off at him after he scored the 5th. He was like, "Come on now, you've got 5. Lay one on the plate for me."
Probably wanted that double hat trick. You probably wanted to throw in it so you could have the partnership.
See, the thing is, I actually didn't think about Defoe.
Oh, fair.
But Defoe is a very, very good shout and a very, very good striker. I feel like he should have got more time in the England team than he did.
Definitely.
But then again, when you've got players in front of you like Wayne Rooney, it's very, very hard to drop Wayne Rooney out of the team when he's playing so well.
Yeah.
But in the situations where he had played for England, he did take his chance. Memorably against Slovenia in the World Cup in 2010. But very, very good shout picking Jermaine Defoe. Very, very good shout. I'm going to go next at right midfield. simply because I know for a fact that if I don't pick him, you're going to nab him.
Hmm.
And I'm surprised neither of us have said him already. Obviously, I know I've said Leighton Baines and Peter Crouch, and they were my second and third picks. But I feel like I'd already planned those simply because I thought you would have taken this player by now.
Okay.
And it is Golden Balls himself, David Beckham.
Reason why I never picked him is because I never watched him. Like really, I never got to watch him. Like LA Galaxy is my like when I knew like not when I knew him because I know David Beckham, but if I was to watch David Beckham growing up, it would have been at LA Galaxy. So I didn't pick it. I was never going to pick him.
I think I first started watching Beckham around the back end of his time at Real Madrid.
Mm.
Obviously, saw him in the 2006 World Cup. The picture of him crying on the bench after getting injured against Portugal in the quarterfinal. But what a player he was.
Yeah,
Not many players have an area on the pitch named after them.
no, they don't. That he was crazy. That I really enjoyed his Netflix documentary as well. I love that documentary. Love to see his background and stuff. Like, and he's from East London, but he didn't support West Ham, the fucker. Um, but he was talented player, talented player. Literally like one of the most mainstream players. Like he's still influential now. Um, for me, I've got to improve the spine of the team. I have to pick people in central areas, but I know I'm probably not going to pick many players. Well, not many players because I can only pick two from each club anyway. But I don't like this guy. But you can't deny his footballing ability because he was one of the best for England in this position. Um, I don't really want to build him up too much though, just because I really don't like him. John Terry. Like I
With
don't
good
like the guy,
reason.
but he's an insane world class defender that could play with both feet. Was a ball player. Was a ball playing defender ahead of ball playing defenders. Captain, leader, like it's everything you want in a centre back, not in a person, but a centre back.
Very, very good player, but
Hmm.
quite an awful human being.
Yeah, awful human being.
And very fair for picking John Terry. My next pick, I'm also going to go with the centre back.
Yep, yep.
One of the centre backs that actually partnered John Terry
Hmm.
in the time at England.
Yeah,
And John Terry was accused of racially abusing his brother.
yep,
It is, of course, Rio Ferdinand.
yeah. I knew you were not going to let me have both.
I was going to say I've already let you have Terry. I can't let you take Rio as well.
Yeah, that was never happening. That was never happening. I thought I could get away with that. Um, do you know why I didn't pick Rio? It's because I've already got a Man United pick in Rooney, yeah, and I wanted either one or two Man United players, but I was going
I
to
think
wait until one of them was picked.
I think I know
And
who you're going for.
you know who I'm going for. He
Yeah,
sucks toes. He sucks toes. Is Mr. Paul Scholes. I have to. The reason why I have to is because if you pick Scholes and Gerrard, it's curtains, bruv. So yeah, Paul Scholes, like, because he was like one of the first players I ever watched, like just in general, and the way this guy dictated play from deeper positions, could make late runs into the box, was one of the most well-rounded midfielders England has ever had, and he was one of the few people that you could allow for being ginger. Like, because as much as gingers get a bad rep, he probably brought the stocks up a little bit.
yeah.
Gingers must have been suffering in that time in between Scholes and De Bruyne because they had no one representing them apart from Ed Sheeran. So,
And Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley.
oh, true, true. I forget because I'm not a Harry Potter fan.
But
I forget about
now,
him.
we've got Angry Ginge.
Oh yeah, true, true. You got Angry Ginge. You got Angry Ginge because before him, you had the Gingers don't have souls guy.
You don't know me. You're not God.
So and South Park put them stocks down, bruv. So
Yeah,
shout out to the Gingers every single time. especially the
Big up
ginger
to the
women,
gingers. Yeah.
because some of you either look 10 out of 10 or 0 out of 10.
Hold
Yeah,
tight the fire, women.
yeah, literally. But yeah, Paul Scholes, man, were literally the one of the best midfielders that the Premier League has ever seen.
And undeniably a very, very good pick from you. Um, I'm gonna shore up the attack and I'm gonna play this guy alongside him. Obviously, we are recording this after the England game, and he did score tonight, marking his 70th goal for England. Obviously, broke Wayne Rooney's record not long ago. It
Yeah.
is, of course, Harry Kane. Let's go!
That's actually a really good impression. Oh my days. You actually sounded exactly
Let's
like him.
go! Come on!
You actually sounded proper like he looks
When I
like a
play football, sometimes I have to be brave.
he does talk like he's got a TA next to him helping him read. Let's be real. He does speak like one. He speaks like he's
But
from the Goonies, bro.
the thing is, as well, is the fact that Kane could have a bad game or he could have a brilliant game. No matter what
Yeah,
happens, Kane is scoring,
it's true.
which is
Unless it's
why I
at
put him
Liverpool.
alongside Crouch.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good partnership, to be fair. Are you picking them both at Tottenham, or are you picking Crouch as a Liverpool pick? Or you just figured it out as you go along?
I'm figuring out as I go along, but I could always move Crouch to Tottenham.
Yeah. If you really
So,
want to do Portsmouth.
or Portsmouth, yeah.
Or Stoke, if you wanted to. There's quite a
Stoke,
few.
Portsmouth, Liverpool, Spurs, Villa,
Yeah.
QPR, Burnley.
Yeah. Depends what version of Crouch you want. I would suggest either
Exactly.
Liverpool or Tottenham, but obviously there's Bear.
See, the thing is,
Portsmouth.
I don't think I'm going to actually pick that many Liverpool players. So I'll probably end up going with Liverpool because right now I've only got Gerrard,
Yeah.
and there's not really many great Liverpool players that play for England
There's not.
in our time.
There's not.
But yeah,
There's one more.
I'll probably go with Crouch for Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you got a right back?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that then. Because I've got one or two that I want in my head. Um I think I might pick Ashley Cole for Arsenal. Even though I didn't get to watch him at Arsenal, I might just pick him as Arsenal. Just because I don't want to pick this guy either. But I can't be I'm not a biased person. So I'm going to pick this guy. I'm gonna be unbiased. This guy was still the greatest Premier League midfielder goal scorer.
Yeah,
And I'm not gonna miss the opportunity to pick him. He's still a fat fuck, but fuck him. He deserves his credit because he did it for so many years in the Premier League at the highest level. And he's unfortunately from Romford. Frank Lampard.
Fat Frank
Yeah, big fat Frank.
should have had an
One
extra
man
goal in tally.
couldn't carry Lampard.
Should have
But
had an
yeah,
extra goal on his England tally.
yeah, yeah.
But
That was my first tournament as an England fan. That
I
oh
think
my
that's the
days.
first time I ever called someone a cunt.
You was like 7, bruv.
Yeah. What do you expect, man? I'm from South. It gets techie out here.
I'm from East, but I'm meant to be saying wanker when I'm born, bruv. But fucking hell, you said cunt at that age. Oh my days. I
Yeah,
was
but
just like,
I said it to the referee for not giving the goal. Little did I know it was Sepp Blatter's choice not to have goal line technology.
oh, Sepp Blatter, what a corrupt human being. You know what I low-key think though? You know, in England, this draft here, I know you picked Beckham, but wingers are a struggle, you know.
There's
Like
not
good
really
wingers.
many great wingers now.
Not had many great wingers over the years.
Um, I feel like this next guy I'm going to go for is simply off of the back of one tournament because I remember watching him in this tournament and thinking he played quite well.
Mm.
Obviously, recently almost had the opportunity to play against his son in the FA Cup.
Oh shit!
Ashley Young.
You know what? For a winger pick, that's a really good pick, though. That's a really good pick, especially if you pick him for Villa.
Yeah, that's exactly who I was going for when it came to picking him. Picking for
That's a
Villa.
shout. That's a shout. That's a shout.
Because he played really well in Euro 2012.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he was probably one of the better players, probably top three players in that tournament. To be honest, like he's had two careers in a sense where he's had a whole career on the wing and a whole career at fullback, and he's made so much longevity for himself. So fair play to him. Fair play to him. Um, where do I go next? Because wingers are tough. Wingers are tough. I'm kind of lost now with centre back because you pick Rio. I've got John Terry. Again, centre backs aren't like there are good centre backs out there, but it would also like take away some of my picks for teams that I could like do something for. Um, Goalkeeper is difficult. England haven't had many good goalkeepers in my lifetime. In my lifetime, obviously that's obvious, but they all played before my lifetime. Um, I picked all my Man United picks. Scholes and Rooney. I picked all my Chelsea picks. Terry and Lampard. Cole is my Arsenal pick. It literally has to be now because I picked two Chelsea players. I'm not picking Lampard for West Ham, and John Terry didn't play. I'm not picking John Terry for Villa.
The same way you're not picking Lampard for City.
Yeah, or was it New York CFC or whatever it was as well? Like, I'm not doing that. So I'm trying to pick players in their prime. Uh, that's difficult. Wingers. Oh my god, the wingers are disgusting. They're absolutely disgusting. But I'm gonna pick this guy at right back because I don't think I'm gonna pick many players from this club. And to be honest, I didn't actually want to pick him, but I know who I want at centre back, and it wouldn't allow me to pick the other right back anyway. I'm picking the only other Liverpool player you should probably pick as in England is Trent. This guy is still generational in terms of what he can do at right back. As much as he has his deficiencies, his strengths can cover his deficiencies very well still. So I'm still picking Trent. He's one of the few current players as well that can get into an all-time 11.
Yeah. I mean, he does have his frailties when it comes to defence. He's
Yeah,
definitely much better going forward than he is playing defence.
definitely.
But regardless, a very, very good player and
Mm-hmm.
fair play to getting him in your team. I'm going to go. I haven't picked anyone for Arsenal yet, have I?
Oh yeah, I'm surprised you haven't.
Which is why I'm going with this next one. Simply because I know it's going to be another one that if I don't pick, you're going to take him straight away.
Okay.
And again, he was part of that era where we had a lot of decent centre backs. Obviously, the first two that come to mind are John Terry and Rio Ferdinand. But with those two, you've also got to speak about this guy as well,
Yeah.
Sol Campbell.
Is it a colour thing? But again, I was never gonna pick him because again, I didn't get to watch him in his prime. So like, fair play. Like but again, he was rock solid. Like it is when I go back and watch old games and stuff. This guy was. I saw an assist he got the other day. Yeah, like well, not the other day, but I saw it the other day. The clip of he's making an interception. I can't remember who was against me. It was an away ground. This guy intercept because the left back was out of position. So it's for Arsenal. This guy makes an interception, he kicks it, and it goes all the way to Henri, and Henri is just throwing goal and he scores. That was one of his assists by making an interception. Like it was just mad. But he was so aggressive. But he made the aggression like he did it well, from what I saw. That's a fantastic pick. But the reason why I didn't pick him is because I need to pick this guy because again I'm gonna use all my Tottenham picks. Now I actually got to watch this guy. So that's the only reason why I'm picking him. And I'm not picking I'm not picking an England centre back from the last 10 years. Because apart from John Stones, there isn't many good ones. There isn't. I'm not picking Maguire. I'm not picking Chris Smalling. I'm not picking Phil Jones. And it'll be a disservice to England all-time 11 for me to pick a current player. And this guy was meant to be up there with Terry and Rio and Sol Campbell. He was originally a midfielder, got moved to centre back. Unfortunately, injuries caved him in. Ledley King.
Oh, fair play.
But yeah, I've used all my
Ledley
Tottenham.
King. Ledley
Yeah.
King. Yeah. What another one? What could have been if it weren't for injuries, if it weren't for his knees being done, the fact that he had
Yeah.
no cartilage in his knee, he was. I felt like he, after obviously Ferdinand, Terry, Campbell, he was going to
Mm-hmm.
be picked as the next centre back going forward for England.
Yeah, for sure. Like the when you hear people talk about him, it's just like, what could have been, man? What could have been?
I've I've only picked one. I've only picked one United player in Beckham. But the
No, you
thing is,
picked
I
Rio.
could. Oh yeah, I picked Rio. But could I also would we allow it if I was to pick Beckham for Madrid?
Yeah, you can do that if you want. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So in that case, I'm going to add another Man United player to the list. Again, simply because of how strapped we are for defenders.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's no one else you can go for but him.
Yeah.
Runs the overlap now.
Oh yeah, fair, fair, fair. Yeah,
Gary Neville.
yeah. Yes, that's fair. That's fair. Like he's got so many good appearances, man. Very consistent. Very, very consistent. Obviously, only got to watch the last few years of his career, but at the same time, like he plays his career down a bit too much, in my opinion. He plays as I know,
Yeah.
like he doesn't say humble in that sense, but at the same time, like you played for Man United, you was consistent at Man United for a reason. Um, so fair play to him. The joy is now that we both picked our right backs. What I was going to do, I was going to decide between Walker and Trent because Prime Walker was still mad, but because you picked Rio, I had to pick another centre back that was that level. So I had to use all my Tottenham picks by picking Ledley King. Now I could have picked Walker for City, but at the same time, Trent, bro. Like I'm not going to pick many Liverpool players.
Not only that, I feel like it wouldn't have made sense to have picked Walker for City simply because when Walker moved to City, England had moved to the back three formation and Southgate was playing him as a centre back.
Yeah, but he did also play right back still.
Yeah, he did play right back, but
Mm.
mainly when it came to England, he was playing as the right hand side centre back in that back three.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Uh, I'm gonna because I'm struggling for wingers. I'm picking this guy on right midfield. I'm playing a proper 4-4-2 here, like tactically. And because Trent's on the right, overlapping, I'm gonna tell this guy to tuck in when we're on the ball. Just so we can create a three-man midfield at times. This guy did play as a right midfielder and a left midfielder in early of his career, but he hasn't played there in years. That's why I'm picking him at Manchester City. He still plays now, but we haven't seen him in time. James Milner.
Yeah, very, very good shout.
I can pick him for so many
Very,
clubs.
very good player as well.
Very good player. Could play in a lot of positions. I remember this guy once played at fullback for England years ago, in like early 2010s, just to fill in, because England was struggling at the time for fullbacks. And this guy has literally played in nearly every position, like apart from like centre back and striker and goalkeeper. He's played in every position. He's played every part of midfield, every part of the wing, and he's played fullbacks both times, like both sides. Very honest player, and he's not just like one of them honest players that just runs around for the sake of it. But he would like he had a long he played for literally Leeds, Villa, Newcastle, Liverpool, Manchester City. Like that's
Now
mad. And it's
Brighton.
Brighton. Yeah, Brighton is what the fuck. He could have gone back to Leeds as well. It was an opportunity to go back to Leeds, but I think Leeds because Leeds got relegated. He had the opportunity to go to Brighton. He went Brighton.
Hmm.
So yeah,
So you've only got one position left.
two
Oh, you got two.
left mid and a goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, because I picked first, didn't it? So I've got
Yeah,
two left.
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go with a centre mid to partner
Hmm.
alongside Gerrard.
Yeah.
Very underrated, in my opinion.
Hmm.
I don't think a lot of people give this guy enough credit. I definitely think if it weren't for injuries, he would have played for England a lot more than he did.
Okay.
But a very, very, very niche one. I'm going to go with Owen Hargreaves,
Oh, that's a shot. To be fair.
and I'm picking him for Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Of course. That makes sense though. But he was a player though. He was a good player.
And he was the only player to score in the penalty shootout for England against Portugal at the 2006 World Cup.
I tried. I always hear about he was like one of them like what could have been players as well.
Gerrard missed, Lampard missed, Carragher missed,
Hmm.
Hargreaves scored.
Yeah. Fair play. Fair play. Do you know what? Ashley Young was a shout, because I know I'm struggling for left midfielders. Like that's probably the best shout. For me, that's the best shout of the draft just because the winger position's nuts. Um which is why I'm gonna go goalkeeper because I'm just struggling. I'm purely struggling left midfield. Because I might move Milner to the left and just think of a right winger. Like there's quite a few. But all the wingers I'm thinking of are actually quite meaty, or their current players. Um, which is why in goal, I'm just gonna say Joe Hart. I'm gonna say Joe Hart for Man City. Like we discussed him in the field wonder kid draft a bit, like, but I still think he could have been something else. He could have been bigger than what he was. He was a good goalkeeper this time. Obviously before 2016 and all that. But at the same time, that run of for 3-4 years where he was at the top, like in the Prem especially, like it was still Joe Hart. So Man City Joe Hart.
I think obviously my last position is the goalkeeper. Um, I don't think I was going to pick either Robert Green or David James
Mm-hmm.
simply because from when I've seen them mid playing in England shirt, I've seen them they were very poor.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this guy also had his moments in an England shirt as well, mainly being beaten by a bobble against Croatia in a Euro 2008 qualifier. Paul Robinson.
Fair, fair. There's quite a few like. Do you know what it is? There's no goalkeeper that like stands out for England, but Paul Robinson was good at this time. Obviously, Leeds and Blackburn and was it Tottenham as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mainly watched him at Blackburn.
yeah. That's why I was going to go with Blackburn as for what team I was going to pick him for.
Again, I'm struggling left mid, so I might move Milner there. I might have to pick someone else. Um, I've already picked them, so I can't pick him. Sure, fuck it. I'm gonna move Milner to left mid. I'm picking Theo Walcott.
Fair.
I don't want to pick it. I'm being stubborn. I don't want to pick a current player. Um, Mainly because I don't. I'm very like past era is way better. I do think some of these players can survive in the past era, but not as good as they have been supposed to be. I don't as much, and I think Walcott would be touted as one of the better wingers in the Premier League in this current era. Funny enough, because he wasn't that good, but it was because the reason why we were saying he wasn't that good is because there were better wingers in the Prem. So Walcott at its peak would have been one of the better wingers that in the Premier League right now. We'd be talking about could he go for 80 to 100 million, which sounds nuts, but that puts into perspective the stupidity that we see nowadays of people that are going for 100 million now. That people are touted to go for 100 million. That's why I didn't pick Saka or Bowen. Like, I'm not even going like best players to play in the England shirt. I'm literally going best English players. That's why I picked Trent. That's why Trent's the only one that I've picked as a current player.
I've only picked
So
Kane.
yeah. So there's only two current players in this whole draft, which is nuts in itself. But start with you because you picked first. What's your team?
In goal, I've got Paul Robinson. with a back four of Leighton Baines, Sol Campbell, Rio Ferdinand, and Gary Neville.
Mhm.
A midfield four of Ashley Young, Steven Gerrard, Owen Hargreaves, and David Beckham. And
Yeah,
two strikers up top in Harry Kane and Peter Crouch.
fair. I've gone Joe Hart in goal. Back four: Trent, Ledley King, John Terry, and Ashley Cole. Uh, Four midfielders: Walcott, Scholes, Lampard, and Milner. Up front: Jermaine Defoe and Wayne Rooney. Uh, Honestly, I think I've got a good back four. I'm not really happy with the midfield in terms of wide midfielders because England wingers are meaty. I'm happy with my striker partnership because Rooney and Defoe is Rooney and Defoe. So
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to call that one.
I'm the same. I'm happy with the spine of the team.
Yeah,
Not so much the wide positions, but definitely the spine can
yeah.
cause problems.
I think you have a better team personally. The reason why is because you picked Beckham and Ashley Young. I think overall, you
And
obviously
Gerard,
Becker's better than fucking Walcott, bruv. But yeah, Gerard. But because I'm happy with my centre mids, as much as I prefer Gerard over Scholes and Lampard as well. But like, I've got Scholes and Lampard, I'm gonna take it. I think you picked the better balanced team, so I'd say you take that one for me. Make sure to leave a like, people. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Alfie's link is in the title. Let us know what you would have picked, or make a team of players that we haven't picked. Somehow, it's probably not going to be better than ours because listen, we're pretty much taken all the good ones off. But yeah, pick yours in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description. If you want to follow me, the email for the inquiries. We're trying to reach 1K subscribers before the end of the season. See you guys later. Goodbye.